Hi, in this video, I'm going to go over a game from Prep Test 60. So I'm just in Law Hub, going to Prep Test 60 and finding the game. I think it's game 3. So one moment. Yeah, this is the one. So we can see already that it's probably a bit of an unusual game just because we only have two constraints or two rules. So we'll take our time reading through the scenario. So over the course of one day, a landscaper will use a truck to haul exactly 7 loads. So 7. And we have 3 mulch, 4 stone. So that adds up to 7, so that's nice. The truck's cargo bed will be cleaned in between carrying any 2 loads of different materials. So anytime we have MS or SM, we are going to have a cleaning. Okay, so that's what we have to pay attention to. That's it for that sentence. Then to meet the landscaper's needs as efficiently as possible, the following constraints apply. The cargo bed cannot be cleaned more than 3 times. Okay, so max 3 cleanings. The 5th load here has to be mulch. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, something like this, if you really don't know where to start with it, I would say that the way to go is to try to create acceptable solutions. But you can also just start with the first question and tackle that. So could the first and the third both be mulch? And so you would add the, M in 1 and M in 3, and then you would try to make sure that you don't exceed the maximum of 3 cleanings. And so the key to that is not to switch between, stone, switch between stone and mulch too many times. So you would want to like cluster the mulch together or cluster stone together. So if we put mulch in 1 and 3 to give it the best chance of working, mulch is also in 5. So to give it the best chance of working, we can't make it work, right? So knowing that we have mulch organized like this, everything else has to be stone, right? So we're going to see in this question a bunch of ways that it's not going to work. So here you would say, okay, well, I have MS, so there's one cleaning. SM, there's another cleaning. MS, a third cleaning. So we've already hit our maximum, but then we would have to clean here and here as well. So that one's not going to work, right? So thinking about it like that, right? We're definitely going to have at least 2 of the M's together. We can't like separate all the M's out. So that might help a little bit to think about it that way. Like, okay, I need to have, a pair of M's together. And then I could have one solo M, and then I could have pairs of stones. And then between, I could arrange them in such a way that I would have like a cleaning here, and then a cleaning here, and then a cleaning here, and that's 3. So to avoid hitting that maximum, we want to cluster similar materials beside each other. And these would be the pairings that you would have in order to hit that maximum without going over it. Right. So knowing that information from like trying out A, I would then think, well, the second and third is going to be a problem as well, because if those are both mulch, then everything else is stone, and then you're going to have one stone on its own. So you could kind of go through each option here and eliminate, but you might be able to visualize it in your head a little bit at some point, and that's going to make it go a little bit faster. But when you're first doing it, don't be shy about like writing more down and trying more things out. Just try to take moments to pause and see where there are steps that you would actually be able to potentially do in your head, or where you could say, well, this one didn't work, and what did I learn from that, and carry that forward. So yeah, second and third, not going to work either. But we know we've got M fifth. So if we're trying to cluster similar types together, then it makes sense that we would have other M's, right? Other loads of mulch in that same area. So sixth seems good, but fourth also would be good. So E looks really promising, right? Because you'd have all the M's stuck together, and then you would have the rest would be S's, but you'd only have to clean twice in that case. So you'd have to clean between 3 and 4, and you'd have to clean between 6 and 7. So it's got to be E. So if you get a sense of like what the limiting issue is going to be here, which is the number of cleanings, right? That maximum, that we don't want to exceed it, then you're going to have an easier time looking at answers and thinking, oh, well, this is likely to be possible, or this is likely to be impossible, right? This is going to result in fewer cleanings, which is more possible, or this is going to result in more cleanings, which is more likely to be problematic and exceed that maximum. So that would be sort of like just a bit of a setup and how to approach this game. And in general, when you're approaching a game that is, the way that it's set up is unfamiliar, it's good, I think, to start to play around with it a little bit and write out possibilities and look at maybe some of the extremes. Now, ideally, this isn't something that you're going to be doing for every game in a section. It's something that you would be doing probably with one game out of the section. So this game in this section is the one that's the least standard, or like typical, right? And so with this one, it's like, yeah, to kind of get a sense for what's going on here, it makes sense that you would have to like try some things out before you get into it, or that you might have to slow down. But for other games, they're of a familiar enough type that if you've done enough practice, you will have seen many games of that type, and there will be like a format that's fairly consistent. And yeah, like you can ask yourself specific questions as you go through, but it will fall sort of nicely into a decently familiar category. So that likely will not be purely grouping or purely sequencing. It will probably be some mix of the two. You'll probably only get one kind of pure sequencing or pure grouping game in a section. If that, you might get all games that involve skills from both of those camps. But here, I mean, this one is like technically just a sequencing game, right? But it's just a bit weird. So I mean, this one I would probably say is like sequencing with a twist. I think that would be like the 7-stage categorization. I don't know if this would be advanced sequencing or how other advanced ordering or advanced linear. I don't know how other prep test companies would categorize it, to be fair, but yeah, I mean, the label that it's given isn't as important as just seeing a lot of games and noticing the similarities between them, and recognizing when you have a rule that's written in a way that's maybe easily misinterpreted. And so you want to make sure that the next time you see that kind of wording, that you are going to be able to interpret it correctly. And that the deductions that you draw from that are going to be accurate and lead you to the correct answers efficiently. So yeah, I hope that helps. I will leave it there for now so that you can do the rest of the questions on your own. But please let me know if there's any specific question that you'd like me to review. I might make another video with questions. I do have to go right now, but yeah, if you do have specific questions, please let me know. Okay, have a good one. Bye.